de chaleur. Face à ce diagnostic alarmant, notre réponse doit être à la hauteur de l'urgence. Afin que les mêmes causes ne produisent pas les mêmes effets, il nous faut changer de paradigme et nous tourner vers un modèle de développement alternatif qui inscrit la transition énergétique au cœur de nos priorités. Mesdames et messieurs, aujourd'hui, notre continent poursuit un double objectif, celui de l'adaptation et de l'atténuation, inscrit à l'agenda 2063 de l'Union africaine, mais aussi dans des cadres multilatéraux, notamment l'accord de Paris sur le climat. Dans l'immédiat, l'urgence appelle à la mise en place d'une stratégie d'adaptation. Cela se passe notamment par la restauration des écosystèmes dégradés, mais aussi par des investissements dans le développement social des communautés vulnérables. À ce propos, je voudrais partager avec vous l'expertise de mon pays avec la mise en place de la Sovereign Carbon Agency. En effet, depuis 2 ans déjà, l'agence collecte les contributions carbone basées sur le principe pollueur-payeur et les transforme en projets d'adaptation pour les communautés impactées par le réchauffement climatique. Les revenus générés ont permis de créer des conditions favorables pour le financement des petits projets destinés aux populations vulnérables. Nous devons tous ensemble réfléchir à la manière d'harmoniser cette taxe carbone à l'échelle de notre continent. Cela pourrait maximiser les financements pour l'adaptation, promouvoir une transition énergétique équitable, renforcer la coopération régionale et donner au continent une voix plus forte sur la scène internationale. Pour affronter l'hydre du réchauffement climatique, il nous faut mettre en place un mécanisme de financement pérenne. C'est ce mécanisme, à n'en pas douter, qui sera le baromètre de la crédibilité de la communauté internationale et, à terme, de l'efficacité des politiques pour lutter contre le réchauffement climatique. Pour exploiter les nombreuses potentialités énergétiques décarbonées de notre continent, nous devons porter à au moins 20% la part de financement des énergies renouvelables d'ici 2030. C'est pourquoi nous plaidons pour un accès simplifié, rapide et massif aux fonds internationaux pour investir dans les infrastructures vertes et résilientes. À ce propos, l'accord obtenu pendant la COP 29 permettant de tripler les flux financiers vers les pays en développement d'ici 2035 va dans le bon sens. Mais nous savons que cela reste insuffisant pour atteindre nos objectifs. Ce sommet intervient à la veille de l'Assemblée générale des Nations unies et de la COP 30 sur le changement climatique. C'est une opportunité pour nous pour appeler d'une seule voix à une justice climatique fondée sur le principe de responsabilité commune mais différenciée. C'est une opportunité également pour rappeler à nos partenaires internationaux leur engagement dans le financement de la transition écologique dans son ensemble. Je pense par exemple aux mécanismes novateurs tels que l'allègement de la dette en échange d'investissements verts, aux fonds de compensation et de la transition écologique dans son ensemble. Je pense par exemple aux mécanismes novateurs tels que l'allègement de la dette en échange d'investissements verts, aux fonds de compensation pour les pertes et les dommages, mais aussi au Fonds vert pour le climat. Excellences, Mesdames et Messieurs, unissons nos efforts et nos forces, faisant en sorte que le financement climatique devienne le levier d'une renaissance africaine verte et solidaire. Je vous remercie de votre attention.
We thank Your Excellency.
Government, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is a privilege to gather here in Addis Ababa, a city that has often been the stage of Africa's unity, and that today reminds us of the strength of our collective purpose. I thank Ethiopia for its generosity in hosting us and for carrying forward the spirit of Nairobi into this second Africa Climate Summit. 2 years ago, I had the honor of welcoming you to the inaugural Africa Climate Summit in Nairobi. Then, we looked ahead to a future of possibility, of global collaboration and resilient prosperity and inclusive growth for Africa. In Nairobi, we introduced a bold new perspective of Africa as a continent of opportunity and source of solution, not just a victim. We framed climate action not as a burden, but as a driver of economic growth, transformation, and job creation for African communities. Together, we adopted climate-positive growth as our development paradigm. In doing so, the Nairobi Declaration established Africa not only as a partner, but as a power in the emerging global order. 2 years later, we have come a long way. Our potential is recognized, our voice is heard, and our solutions are being deployed. From green infrastructure and climate-smart agriculture to landscape restoration, waste management, and even cutting-edge technologies like direct air capture. Across the continent, African entrepreneurs and communities are innovating and building resilience from the ground up. Yet, while progress has been made, the world around us is changing fast. Global interconnectedness is deepening, but so too is the temptation to retreat into narrow self-interest, transactional partnerships, and short-term gains. Too often, commitments are broken and international solidarity is dismissed as weakness. precisely when the scale of climate crisis demands enhanced cooperation, not less. The truth is undeniable. No nation can solve this crisis alone. Only through bold, united, and sustained collaboration can we avert climate catastrophe. Isolation is not a winning strategy. It is courting failure. Acting alone, we will squander time, waste resources, and forfeit the future. These realities compel us to remain steadfast in building a modern, green, and inclusive industrial base here at home to secure Africa's rightful place in the global economy and to foster the solidarity needed to confront climate change. Ethiopia, as a host of this summit, has rightly placed the emphasis on implementation and finance, moving from vision to action. Realizing our vision of climate-positive growth requires action on two fronts. Africa must exercise its agency decisively, urgently, and coherently. And the international system must dismantle the structural barriers that continue to hold the continent back. Both demand deeper collaboration. Africa is already stepping up, nationally, regionally, and internationally. We are putting in place policies that attract investment, reward innovation, and ensure fair value for our resources. Increasingly, we present a united African voice in global discussions. We are also bridging previously siloed debates, including linking debt, fiscal space, nature, and climate to craft systemic and coordinated solutions. We have strengthened our institutions and regional mechanisms, from the Alliance of African Multilateral Financial Institutions, and I see TDB, AfriExim, and other African institutions in our midst, while also enhancing the place for African Credit Rating Agency, and also advancing ACFTA through the Africa Green Industrialization Initiative. By linking this initiative with the accelerated partnership of renewables in Africa, we ensure that investment drives progress in both energy and industry. The twin engines of our modern Africa economy built on abundant clean power. Still more, ladies and gentlemen, must be done, including deepening fiscal discipline, accelerating trade integration, mobilizing African institutions' capital, investing in knowledge, and improving governance. These are the foundations of resilience. The Nairobi Declaration is a political compact. Africa must lead in advancing this agenda, while international players have the responsibility and the self-interest to support it. Success will depend on both sides. Africa delivering at home, and the global system opening space where Africa's climate, business, and development goals converge. This requires lowering the cost of capital through reforms at the global financial institutions, expanding concessional flows, mobilizing private investments at scale, integrating climate into lending, and tackling currency and debt risks. It means reforming trade and subsidy regimes and opening global markets to Africa's value-added goods and solutions, from climate-smart agriculture and green industrial products to carbon credits. Yet today, climate action risks being sidelined as national security and short-term interests drive transactional approaches to trade and investment. Development assistance is shrinking, While this strengthens our resolve to design, finance, and drive our own future, it also reflects a world where too many assume that for some to win, others must lose. It has never been more urgent for Africa to stand together and demonstrate that collaboration delivers prosperity and peace for all of us. Our economies, our weather systems, and our very survival are interconnected. We must focus on win-win solutions because they do exist and they are firmly within reach. That is why we are here, to celebrate our achievements since the first Africa Climate Summit in Nairobi, confront challenges with unity, hold ourselves accountable, and inspire one another to greater action. We captured that spirit in the report we released today. We called it, and I quote, Africa's Journey of Climate Action and Partnership, to reflect that our climate summits are not events, but part of a journey towards a climate-safe future, a destination that is certain, but only if we journey together. There are copies of this summation available in this summit. This journey, ladies and gentlemen, also includes our global partners who must be held accountable not only to us, but to the future of humanity. From this Addis Ababa, home of humanity, our ancestors ventured into the world. Today, from this same home, let us offer transformative solutions to preserve the human family. With innovation, determination, and unity, Africa will drive global climate action and shape a sustainable, prosperous future for us and for everybody. I thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for your strong advocacy and commitment to climate action.
In the African agenda, the Nairobi Declaration of 2023 during the first African Climate Summit set a continental course to expand Africa's renewable generation to 300 gigawatts by 2030. This requires around $600 billion and reforms of the global financial architecture so that no longer nations must choose between development and climate action. It's also called for operationalization of the loss and damage fund and elevating Africa's role in integrity-based carbon markets. Somalia stands firmly behind this agenda. Guided by that vision and our national determined contribution, Somalia's climate priorities are clear. Number one, protect lives and livelihoods through adaptation at scale. Our NDC 3.0 estimated $6.3 billion is needed for adaptation in 2025-2035, covering a climate-smart agriculture and livestock, water security, health, disaster preparedness, resilient human settlement, coastal protection, fisheries, clean energy access, and range land restoration. Number two, advanced early warning and risk management. We are working with the World Meteorological Organization and partners to strengthen hydromet and early warning services aligned with the UN's early warning for all by 2027 initiative. In this regard, Somalia is also in the process of establishing its National Meteorological Office, which has already been endorsed by the Cabinet and is now awaiting approval by the Parliament. Number three, accelerating affordable energy. Electrification remains too low and too costly. Electricity access in Somalia is below 50%, with pronounced urban-rural gaps. Somalia will expand decentralized renewable energy and mini grids where the grid is distant, leveraging exceptional solar and significant wind potential. 4, unlock the blue economy. Sustainable fisheries can boost livelihoods through investment in coastal resiliency, cold chain infrastructure, and habitat restoration, ensuring food security, economic growth, and stronger climate adaptation for coastal communities. 5, curb deforestation and charcoal. We are committed to enforcing the UN Security Council ban on Somali charcoal exports and providing viable clean energy alternative and greening programs in the country where we lost forests due to charcoal. What we have done, Somalia's achievement, Somalia is the first country in the East Africa to submit its NDC 3.0, demonstrating leadership and readiness to implement ambitious climate action. In 2022, we launched Green Somalia Initiative campaign to plant 10 million trees, and in 2023, we joined the Great Green Wall Initiative with a 10 million pledge to combat deforestation and biodiversity loss. We have established the policy and institutional framework to mobilize climate finance with the establishment of the National Climate Fund for the first time in Somalia. The Green Climate Fund announced an accelerated 100 million partnership for Somalia in 2024, and both GEF and the Adaptation Fund are meaningfully engaging with our government. Somalia's epic debt relief of 4.5 billion lowered debt from 64% of the GDP in 2018 to below 6% by the end of 2023, creating room to invest in climate resilience. Our government is also focused on increasing domestic revenue, further strengthening public financial management, and creating a conducive investment environment to attract investment to enhance resilience building. Resilience on the ground. With our partner, we are expanding multi-use water infrastructure and climate-smart land management in dry lands. Canal and flood relief works along the Shabelle and Juba rivers are helping reduce disaster losses and improve food security. Opportunities in Somalia. Somalia is ready to help deliver the continent's renewable surge. Private developers and communities are co-creating solar hybrid mini grids and growing. We are to scale proven models with grants and highly concessional finance, lowering tariffs for households and business while crowding in private capital in the sector. Our blue economy can be a resilience engine, sustainable fisheries, restored mangroves and shorelines, and climate-smart coastal infrastructure, if supported by targeted affordable finance and ocean climate partnership referenced in the Nairobi Declaration. In our people, farmers, pastoralists, fishing community, women and youth are already leading solutions. Africa-made innovation is taking root across Somalia. Our task is to scale what works for us and for the continent. Our call, Africa's common position is, number one, to deliver finance at the right scale and on the right terms. Number two, to operationalize and capitalize loss and damage, moving from pledges to predictable disbursements that reach frontline countries like Somalia.
quickly and directly aligned with the nationally led priorities. Number 3, back adaptation at scale to scale up investment in resilient agriculture, water security, and nature-based solutions, ensuring adaptation finance follows directly to vulnerable communities and support nationally defined resilience priorities. Our commitment, Somalia reaffirms its conditional NDC target to reduce emission by 34 below business as usual by 2035, while placing adaptation, protecting lives, food systems, water health, and infrastructure at the center of our development pathway. We will continue integrating climate risk in every sector policy, scaling locally led solutions, and building strong institutions for delivery. Mr. Chair, Excellencies, Africa's case is compelling and just. Decarbonizing the global economy is inseparable from delivering development in Africa. Let Addis Ababa be remembered as the moment we moved from declarations to delivery together. I thank you.
Thank you, Excellency.
أحمد رئيس وزراء جمهورية إثيوبيا، أصحاب الفخامة والمعالي والسعادة، السيد رئيس المفوضية الاتحاد الإفريقي، السادة والسيدات الحضور، يسعدني مرة أخرى أن أعبر باسم شعب الجمهورية العربية الصحراوية الديمقراطية وحكومتها عن بالغ الامتنان والتقدير لجمهورية إثيوبيا الفيدرالية الديمقراطية على حسن الاستقبال وكرم الضيافة والتنظيم المتميز لهذه القمة، قمة المناخ الثانية. كما أخص بالشكر الاتحاد الإفريقي على جهوده المتواصلة في تعزيز العمل المناخي المشترك وإنجاح هذه القمة التي تأتي امتداداً لقمة نيروبي التاريخية. إن انعقاد هذه القمة يمثل محطة مهمة في مسار إفريقيا نحو العدالة المناخية والتنمية المستدامة. فالقارة الإفريقية رغم مساهمتها الضئيلة في الانبعاثات العالمية تظل الأكثر تضرراً من آثار التغيير المناخي، مما يستدعي منا جميعاً توحيد الجهود لضمان استفادة عادلة من الموارد المخصصة لمواجهة هذه التحديات عبر آليات تمويل منصفة وشفافة. وفي هذا السياق تؤكد الجمهورية الصحراوية أهمية الاستفادة من كل المبادرات والتجمعات الإفريقية المعنية بالمناخ وتعزيز التنسيق بين الدول الأعضاء لتفعيل الحلول المحلية والمستدامة، خاصة في مجالات التكيف الزراعة الذكية والطاقة المتجددة وحماية سيادة الشعوب على ثرواتها الطبيعية. إن بلادنا تواجه تحديات بيئية جسيمة. إن بلادنا تواجه تحديات بيئية جسيمة، فإضافة إلى ظاهرة التصحر السريع، هناك الحرب المفروضة ضد احتلال لا شرعي يتصرف في ثرواتنا خارج النظم والقوانين التي تحمي البيئة والمناخ، بما في ذلك عبر زرع ملايين الألغام على امتداد شاسع من الصحراء الغربية، ما يهدد الحياة البشرية ويؤثر على التنوع البيولوجي ويقوض نمط عيش المواطن الصحراوي. وتزداد هذه التحديات تعقيداً في ظل ظروف اللجوء التي تضاعف هشاشة النظم البيئية وتحد من قدرة الدولة على الاستجابة الفعالة. لذا فإننا نناشد المجتمع الإفريقي والدولي دعم جهود الجمهورية الصحراوية في مجال حماية البيئة ومكافحة التصحر وتعزيز صمود المجتمعات المحلية من خلال تمويل المشاريع المناخية وتوفير التكنولوجيا وبناء القدرات. ختاماً، نؤكد التزامنا الكامل بمخرجات هذه القمة وبدعم المبادرات الرامية إلى بناء إفريقيا خضراء عادلة ومزدهرة. وشكراً، والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
Thank you, Excellency.
Prime Minister of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, distinguished presidents, prime ministers, ministers, excellencies, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Secretary General Antonio Guterres, it is an honor to join you in Addis Ababa for the second Africa Climate Summit. I thank the government of Ethiopia and the African Union for convening us at such a critical time. We gather at a moment of global turmoil and uncertainty,